Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 6. And this will be my review for The Flash Season 6, Episode 7, otherwise entitled The Last Temptation of Barry Allen, Part 1. And this is obviously, as we know, a two-part mid-season finale. And this is, I believe so, 48 hours just before Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is pretty exciting. Now, before I do the review, however, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe button so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. Also, for those who haven't watched the episode, then spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the episode, then stop watching this video or else you'll get some massive spoilers. Like, this episode was godly level, which I will get to later on. So you guys wouldn't want to hear any spoilers from me. Go watch the episode, click off this video after you watch the episode, then come back. But for those who are staying, you're welcome to stay. And here is my review for The Flash Season 6, Episode 7. So this episode kicks off with basically pretty much like right after last episode, and Bloodwork was fighting Elongated Man. And they have a cool fight scene due to them having like some similar elongate powers. And like Ramsey technically does have elongate powers because like he could like stretch the blood and something. It was pretty cool. But then Ralph gets affected by Ramsey's blood, and Ramsey sucks out most of Ralph's blood, and that leads to Ralph on the ground. And obviously Cisco and Caitlin do end up finding him and bringing him to Star Labs. Now we find out in order for Ralph to survive, they need to use Barry's speed healing abilities. But the problem was, Ralph is like an elastic guy, like, you know, elongated. So they need another way to do the blood transfusion, and Barry comes up with this idea to phase while he's doing the blood transfusion. It works successfully, but I will go over what happens later on because it does play a massive role in this episode. But then we cut to Barry in his house, and then this apparition of Ramsey shows up in Barry's house. And we find out then that we're 2 days before Crisis. And like Ramsey finds out things about like Barry is the Flash, and he's like, "Oh, I knew it, you're the Flash," things like that. And he talks about the Crisis, and he asks Barry like what role he plays and stuff as well. And then Barry's like, I'll give you a chance to turn yourself in. And Barry speeds at him, but obviously nothing happens to Ramsey because it's an apparition. But we find out through the Speed Force, and the Speed Force appeared in the form of Nora Allen, which it mostly does, that Barry got infected by Ramsey's blood due to the blood transfusion that happened earlier on, and that like little piece of blood from Ramsey that ended up with Ralph got transferred to Barry. And basically the Speed Force also tells Barry that Ramsey is using Barry to like work with Bloodwork and like work with him essentially. But then we get like this other side story, and it's like Iris setting up the Flash vanishes in Crisis, which we find out because of Allegra. And they're also working on this investigation to exposing the secret organization as we know to be the Black Hole, but they don't know just yet. And then and then Allegra does also end up confronting Iris about the fact that it's like your husband is the Flash, things like that. And this does lead to like some sad scene towards the end where Iris starts writing that article. Now we then get this dinner scene which was hilarious. Like when everyone's eating and they're like, "Oh, Barry, sit down," but then Ramsey just pops off. He's like, "The lasagna is ready," to everyone, and then the lasagna turns all like bloody and stuff. And like Ramsey, man, chill, bro. Then we had Barry like end up in like the graveyard after that, which was cool, and we saw like all of the people who were dead because of Barry. So we saw like Ronnie, we saw Martin Stein, we saw Henry Allen, we saw the two Nora Allens, and we saw Ronnie Raymond as well, which was pretty cool. Now we had to like the scene where Barry is in the time vault as well. And after that we had to Barry imagining baby Nora West Allen. And it was a pretty sad scene. And it was cool seeing Barry grab her, and God, my God, Grant Gustin just killed it in every single scene of this episode. Now, we see Ramsey tell Barry the things like if he joins like the Blood Works, like if he joins Ramsey, Barry could do like things that he could never do before. For example, like Barry ends up seeing this crime scene in which the Flash examines this dead body, and then the Flash takes off his glove and then he resurrects that woman from the Bloodwork powers, which was pretty cool, although it was like pretty bad as well. Now we do also see Eobard Thawne pop up as well, which was also very cool. It's always cool seeing Eobard Thawne in any episode of The Flash, no matter what. Now Barry finds out that Ramsey was telling the truth, and if Barry actually joined Ramsey, he would indeed survive Crisis on Infinite Earths. However, he won't be the same Barry he used to be. Like all like his negative emotions and stuff would be the one that's out, and like the Barry we all like will be gone forever. The Barry Iris likes essentially. Now, however, the Speed Force want Barry to go down the destined path that he was destined. And Barry gets angry. He's like, I didn't choose this to be my destiny. You're the one that struck me. Why do you choose me? Things like that. You ruined my life. And then Barry gets so angry. And then this leads to some amazing, awesome scene. My favorite scene in this entire episode. And Barry phases his hand, like does the reverse flash, into the Speed Force Nora Allen's heart. He's like, now you know what it's like to feel pain, although it cannot really feel pain because it's not a living thing. But the actress, I can't remember what the actress' name, but like the actress for Nora Allen also killed it in this scene. Now this would have just been a normal kill. However, the thing that impacted like us the most is like Barry killed the Speed Force in the form of his own mother, which like really brings that shock. It was just sick. Now, obviously, the Speed Force doesn't die because it's not a living thing, as I said. Now, in between, we did have like a reverse flash montage as well to show like the similarities between the two clips. It was sick. Now, the Speed Force then fight against Ramsey to like fight for Barry, which was pretty cool. And then they both merge. And then Barry wakes up, and I thought he was perfectly fine. And like he beat Ramsey's infection without speed healing, which was cool. But then, like, I'm like, we're supposed to get negative flash. So like, if he was perfectly fine, how would we get negative flash? Well then, here we go. Iris then goes up to Barry, and like asks him questions, and then Barry responds, "Why are you asking so many questions?" And then I'm like, oh no, this isn't the Barry we know, and Ramsey indeed took control of the Flash. Now we then get Iris essentially like notice that this wasn't Barry and goes up to Caitlin and Cisco and says, guys, this isn't Barry, this is someone else out there. Then this leads to this scene where Cisco like approaches this Barry Allen and then like touches him, and then Barry turns around and you see like that wasted negative flash face, all bloody eyes, bloody mouth, everything like that. And then he speeds away and his lightning turned black, which was pretty sick. And it was very, very comic accurate as well, which was amazing. Now we do then see the Flash run to Ramsey, and he bows down to him, and you can see Barry's suit is just all messed up, like it's all black and stuff, and then obviously the black lightning with it just looks really cool. But then we finally get Ramsey refer to himself as Bloodwork. Now obviously next episode we will see like the full on version of Bloodwork as well, like that like big figure. Now we then get a side story in which Nash Wells breaks that thing that was underground, and he's like, I found you in Mar Novu, all across infinite Earths, now you have nowhere to run, something like that. But then next episode we're obviously gonna see this character become Pariah. Now overall, this episode was perfect, nothing negative about this episode. By far the best episode in a while. Like for me, does it beat Enter Flash Time? No, it doesn't. Does it beat like What's Past This Prologue? Maybe. But this episode is definitely in my top 5 episodes. I would put this like second place. Like my favorite episode of all time in The Flash is Enter Flash Time, but then this is very close behind, and I give this episode a 10 out of 10. Obviously my highlight character, not really a surprise, but Barry Allen, aka The Flash, killed it. Well, Grant Gustin technically killed it, but like Barry Allen was the highlight character of this episode. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe button, and I will see you in my Arrow Season 8 Episode 6 review, which will be released later on.